good evening, good morning, depending on your folks. It's your man, always George Bench, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, can you believe it? January is just about over. We have 2 more days left, and it's February. You know, February is Valentine's Day. Excuse me. Ha! Pooh! So, I have no love. I'm like my man Kirk Douglas from the movie Vikings. I'd rather have your hate than your love. But the one person I did used to always give was my mom, and that was my woman. I loved her, and I always got something for Valentine's Day.
Amen.
Yeah, rest in peace, Mom. I miss you. I love you. So anyway, here, folks, I have here a lovely lady, and she recently just made her pro debut last year. She's been competing for quite some time. And I think if you follow my channel, you might recognize her. I've done content about her before. And we will talk to her. What are our plans for 2024? What got in the bodybuilding, a lot of stuff. I know you guys, when I post this, I'm telling you right now, when I post this, when she's coming here, these guys act like, this is, I keep saying that episode of a Chappelle show when Charlie Murphy meets Prince, and he's king of the guy Nikki Free. Everybody thought Nikki Free was a female. She was Shalimar. Say, Shalimar got a new girl. She found the motherfucker. That's how they act. They act like, so we're gonna go ahead and introduce you, the lovely Miss Christina Titan Wilson, and that's how guys. I'm telling you, Christina, that's how guys act. They act like if I get a new girl out here, especially she's fine, they act like, hey, she got a new girl, she's fine. So yeah, and we will talk with her, and we'll ask her questions like. First question I'm gonna ask her is like this: how do you love a lady like yourself get in sport of, as I call it, muscle and masculinity, and also where did the name the Titan from? Can you share that with us?
Oh, those are 2 good stories.
Yes.
So I've actually been lifting since right before I turned 14. I had a teacher who saw me starting to get into trouble, Mr. Tosso, and he was like, we're going to put that energy into the weight room so you don't get in trouble anymore. And God bless. And 21 years later, I am here lifting still. I got into competitive bodybuilding actually because I blew out my knee. And with running is a singular sport. You can train with other people, you can have a coach, but at the end of the day, your performance is based on how you practice your craft. And that mindset is very similar and runs parallel to bodybuilding. If you don't follow your diet, you don't do the weight training, you don't listen to your coach, you're never going to get to that end line, and you don't have teammates that you can kind of lean on. So I was able to translate that running type of mentality into bodybuilding. And it literally, a lot of people think it's solipsistic, it's egocentric. They view us as, it's just aesthetically based. But for majority of us true and prideful bodybuilders, a lot of it is here and here. So I just fell in love with the sport. I think it's beautiful that we get to shape what we think is a work of art. And, we have the power to be able to do so. So that's why I fell in love with bodybuilding, and I competed. This will be my 12th year competing. So I'm 35 now. I'm about to be 36. So I started when I was 24. And then La Titan, funny story. I used to work out in Piscataway, New Jersey at an LA Fitness. And I was like 108 pounds soaking wet. I was getting ready for a show, and I always used to work out alone. And these big, burly 5 of them black guys said, we're going to work out with you because you are a true true addict to the weights. And I started working out with them. And it was me, this tiny 108-pound white girl, and these 5 jacked black guys. And we had a blast together. Like, I put up with them pound for pound. And one day Tyrone came in. Sorry, my Frenchie wants me. Hi, Lola.
Oh, hey,
hi, baby.
Hey, little buddy.
So Tyrone, I walked in and he goes, oh, look at Zena is walking in the door. And then Zena stuck for a while. And then all of a sudden, Jerome, there was Tyrone and Jerome. Jerome goes, no, that's Titan. And it just stuck. And everyone started calling me Titan. Now, if you're familiar with bodybuilding, there's a guy named Mike who is very huge in the bodybuilding world, and his name is Titan. So to differentiate myself, I speak Spanish. So I was like, I'm going to call myself La Titan instead of just Titan. And we're talking 14 years later, I still have that name. And if I go back up north where I'm from, like, everyone knows me as La Titan. No one knows me as Christina or Tina. It's all La Titan.
Yeah, I know, like, I have family up in New Jersey.
Ah,
My father was living up there. See, my mother and father was married for 55 years, even though we were still here in North
God
Carolina. My
bless.
father was up there in New Jersey. He passed away like 10 years ago. My aunt passed away last year. She's up there. I think I got some cousins up there in Jersey. When I was growing up, because I didn't have that strong Southern accent, like, from the South. You listen to me. It's there a little bit, but a little bit. People say, "Where you from?" I said, "Well, I'm from Jersey," but it has to be, "Oh, wow, yeah, that's where you from." I say, "No, I'm
Wait,
from
what part? What
what?
part? What part?
They lived. My father lived in. I think he lived not. No, I'm thinking. Was Camden or was it? I'm trying to
Camden
remember.
is South Jersey.
Yeah, and my aunt lived. God, I used to remember because she used to always when I was at home. Sometimes she'd always FaceTime me, ask me, "Hey, Joy, what's going on?" What's like, am I dead down here? Yeah. But I forget. It's been
You
a
can
long time.
always tell in Jersey where someone's from because up north they say Taylor ham, down south they say pork roll. That's how you know. In Jersey, that's how we know where you're from.
Yeah. Well, right now, team, like I said, like you talk about Jerome, and Jerome said you were wet behind the ears and breast smell like Similac. That's Jerome. You say,
That was genius.
yeah, I know. And we said it ain't Jerome. I had to pull him out. That's my man Jerome, the player from the Himalayas. We got here from some people coming here. Oh, I told you like this, Christina. It's like the episode of Chappelle Show. We got here with my
Looking
man,
forward to it.
the Wanderer. And he says, it's definitely a Muscle Talk Monday. Yes, because that's usually my live on Muscle Talk Monday.
Hi.
This is episode 172, folks, if you follow me. He says, I love your picks. He's a fan.
Thank
Al-
you. I appreciate you.
Also, shout out to your gym teacher. Shout out to him. And
Mr.
also,
Tasso.
yeah, rest in peace to him. Thank you, sir.
Mhm.
And this is from man Chad. Chad says, "Hey, Mr. George, if you're a boy again, Mr. Davis, appreciate you, Chad. I just got off security job. I'm watching from my truck on my way home. Such an honor to be here as a promise to Mrs. Tina Wilson. Oh yeah, these guys love you, girl. They love you, girl.
Thank you so
Also,
much. I
also
appreciate you for
giving you
watching.
giving you a huge shout out as promised. Congratulations to your path of success, Miss Tina. I'm
God
telling you.
bless you. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you.
Yeah. So okay. So you up there in Jersey, hanging with the brothers, hanging and banging with the brothers, like
Yep.
hanging and banging with the brothers. So,
Seriously. People would look
and
at us like, really?
and when did you finally decided to hit the stage and make your debut?
So I started off in figure. It was funny because I was going through a state of like depression, leaving running, and was lifting a lot. And my friend was like, "Why don't we go to a bodybuilding show? I think it'll really be good for you." And my first and primal reaction, it was guttural. I was like, "Why do I want to watch men on stage in thongs when I could just go to like a strip show for that?" Like, what was it? I was being judgmental because I was naive. And he was like, "No, we're going to go to Universe." So Andy took me to Mr. Universe and I fell in love. Like, I just watched the bright lights and the way their bodies were moving. And I've always loved Dana Lynn Bailey. She was kind of like, I had her on my dream board for years, even before I started competing. I just loved her physique. And she was the first women's physique girl that really had shown light on the industry. And I was like, I have to do this. And literally, I met a coach there that night. I signed with him. I had no idea what I was doing. And I did figure. And then it was like 6 or 7 months later, I got up on stage in Jersey out of a packed class. There was 18 girls in my class and I won the entire show. I won overall, novice, open, like I stole the show. And after that, he was like, "No, let's do nationals figure." And I was like, "Nope, I'm doing women's physique." And I took off 2 years to do women's physique.
Yeah, because I
I,
think the process that we start growing, developing figure is a great. Like some people say, it's not. Some people consider a transition division, but it kind of is because you got to think about it. With now so many divisions now in the bodybuilding world, you have bikini, you have wellness, you have figure, you have physique, you have women's open, and you have fitness. And when you get to a level, especially your body starts growing and developing, you want to go to a place where it fits you, and also you want to get out of those clean heels because I used to
Hell yes.
one of my
Praise
jobs.
Jesus.
One of my jobs, if you talk about strip clubs, I used to work in a strip club. I didn't work with the dudes. I worked with the
Wait,
girls.
were you on stage? No.
No, if I was on stage, yeah, I'd be like, I'm kind of hairy, and they throwing bananas at me, and
Some people are into that. You never know.
Yeah, I told him, ain't no playing with a man. Nah. That's how I am. But yeah, as you go in that process and grow, what was that like that first time when you we switch over from physique to women's bodybuilding for you?
So I had a lot of from figure to physique. I had a ton of pressure on me to stay in figure because my potential to my coaches at the time and from the judges feedback was you're going to do amazing in figure. But there was like a guttural instinct in me to be the woman who I truly am. I've always been a tomboy. I may wear lipstick, but I've always been a girl who is active outside, getting dirty. I'm a car freak. Like I'm a tomboy by nature, and being in the heels and all the frill and stuff, I'm like, it's good to put on the suit and have makeup, but I want to clang and bang with the boys. I want to lift hard. And I knew that I would have a cap because naturally I can put on muscle really, really well. And I knew I would hit that cap pretty soon. And it's just not the physique that I wanted. Nothing against any figure girls. But for me personally, I had this dream of muscle that is beautiful for me. And I think Greek goddess and these powerful women that you see in cartoons and things of that nature. And I just fell in love with it. So I ended up switching coaches with a very familiar coach in the industry. You probably know her, Colette Nelson. She's a good friend of mine. She's an amazing human being, one of the smartest individuals you will ever meet. And I came across her through a friend of mine that was being coached with her, and we just instantaneously bonded. And to this day, we're still friends. I think she is a phenomenal human being. She was great in the sport. Her look was what I was striving for because she's still very feminine. And to me, having that balance of muscularity and femininity has always been in the forefront for me. I never wanted to cross any weird lines. So that's been some of the best feedback that I've gotten from the judges is, wow, you are very feminine on stage with the amount of muscle that you have. So I think being comfortable with myself and knowing what I wanted was like, I'm not going to care what all these, even if I could have success in figure, I knew at the end of the day in my heart, it just wasn't for me.
Mm-hmm, yeah, and Colette Nelson, that's a legend. I remember when she was around competing, beautiful and great physique. I know she used to date Jumbo Dave Palumbo back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
And he also is a popular coach. He coached people like I know Sheila Black and a couple other competitors, and it's good to work with someone like her, and she's still in the game. That's great. Well, here we have something from this man. K. Ellie says, "Clash of the Titans."
The Titan. I love it. Thank you.
Or Attack on Titan. I used to watch that. I used to come out for work. I used to be on like Toonami, like late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. Also, he has something that is in Spanish. Toy es bonito con muscoleto. I mean, hey man, this is America. We speak English here.
No, yo hablo español. Gracias por el complementario.
De nada. Mucho poquito. And we got here. Also, it's my brother, XA Gucci 23. Hey, George Page. Hey, brother. Thank you for coming through. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And also, KL says, that was cool that you was a fan of Dana Lynn Bailey before you were competed. There's a lot of bodybuilders that won't a fan first didn't know anything about it. Yeah, because Dana Lynn Bailey is considered like anytime I do interview, especially with I would say ladies who are in physique or just anything who transition from physique and bodybuilding, Dana Lynn Bailey's a blueprint. She's all right. When I grew up, my people always fan was like Vicky Gates. I loved Laura Cray Val. Linda Murray was so for me. And now I'm like Andrea Shaw. That's one.
Oh God, I love her.
I mean, wait a minute. Be right back. I gotta show you something. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Show me. Can't wait to see what he's getting.
This is that magazine. This is supposed to be the last issue of Is Your Muscle Relevant? They're closing the magazine. I still have a collection of them with my comic books. This a friend of mine, Eunice Martinez Kitchen. She was there at the Olympia, and she had gotten Andrea
to sign it. No way, George. Are you serious?
She sent it for me for my birthday. I turned 49 November, and it was like maybe a couple of days after my birthday when I got it. And this is I need to put it into I need to, but I just hold in my bed when I go to sleep at night sometimes.
She's that definition though of femininity and muscularity that I'm referring to. Like her bubbly physique, her curves, her feminine face, like that is truly what I envision when I hear women's bodybuilding.
Yeah, she's like the fifth element. She's perfect. That's how I see it. She's perfect. Right here, we got here from a man, Chad. Chad says, "You're most welcome, Miss Tina. I sent you some messages on Instagram hopefully you can get them and you will see them there." Okay, shout out to him.
Okay, I will
Also,
check afterward. Thank you.
also says, muscle up and lift and roof up. That's my gym slogan, LMBO. Shout out to him also. And also, this is from Ed Kelly. It says, never go to the extreme. Yeah, shout out to him. Also,
cheers to that.
Yeah, this is from Lawrence Perkins out here. My brother says, hello, beautiful.
Hi, Lawrence. I know Lawrence.
Yeah, everybody knows Lawrence. He's a really cool guy. Tina the Titan Wilson in the house, George, and everyone on the chat. Shout out to you. And also,
thank you.
My man said his Joker thing. Oh, you want me to bring the other guy? The other guy,
there he is.
You know, he brings anarchy. He loves chaos. He does, he's just dog chasing cars. He just, and I want to say something to Tina. Tina, I want to tell you something.
Perfect.
You are beautiful.
The voice is perfect, George.
It took a while. I worked on that. I mean, I
I see you perfected your craft.
It's not perfect. It's still some issues here and there, but it's just like, you have to really work the cadence, like move your jaws and, and just be calm, like that. And when you do something, never do for free. So anyway, here, so, you competed at a show called The Universe, which that's what you get your pro card in. And I know a friend of mine, Miss Monica Perez, she competed at that show a while back. I think she got a pro card also. So what was that feeling when that day they told you you're now IFBB pro?
Oh, how do I put that into words? So it took me 10 years to feel that moment. And a year prior to that, I was going to quit bodybuilding. I retired. I said, I'm done. There was a very controversial thing that happened at the Nationals in South Carolina. And I had said, I can't do this anymore. I lost that je ne sais quoi to bodybuilding. And I was in the darkest place I've ever been in my entire life. And I said, let me tell you, George, I have an amazing support system. I truly, truly do. People inside and outside the bodybuilding realm. And people were literally, and now I'm myself a very motivated person. I'm a very positive individual, but that time just kind of broke me. And I experienced things I've never in my life. Now I've been homeless before. We've all had struggles, right? But I was always able to pick up my bootstraps and keep going. And I feel like God put me on this earth to try and instill that life goes on and you can pull yourself out of it. Finally, that energy was returned to me. And I had people coming to my house. Christina, get in the shower. Lola. Christina, eat. Christina, get back on it. And it took me about 4 months to really get myself together. But I said, I'm going to give it one more shot. And I picked the Universe because it's my home state. I'm going back to Jersey. I had so many people flying from across the country to come and see me. Like they knew that this was the end all be all for me. And when I checked in and got my number, I saw the crew because I used to expedite up north for Bev and Maz. And I saw the people that I was familiar with and just they gave me this amount of love and they said, this is going to be your time. And when I received it, there was such I'm a woman of faith and this chill just came up me and I collapsed on stage and I just let out this sigh of relief that finally I had my moment. And when I look back after getting it, I said to myself, I was supposed to win it here in my home state, go see my grandparents afterward. It was just this magnanimous feeling. And I had no apoplectic feelings from before. Like there was no bitterness. There was everything just disappeared. And God was like, this was supposed to be your show. And it was just a magical feeling. And being in your home state in front of your friends and then having people fly up to see you, like it was the most magical moment of my life, I have to say.
Yeah, I remember when my older brother, he was the one. Brother James was the one who really got me into bodybuilding because he used to play football here in hometown. He was called
Uh-huh.
He-Man. That was his nickname. And
Oh, good name.
yeah, he's cleared the muscle mass, and as a kid, I used to like looking at him because I grew up in like the tail end of the Arnold Schwarzenegger era, the start of Lee Haney and a lot of these other guys, and y'all women just some blow my mind. And I remember when he passed. It's been 20 years since he passed. Someone told me this, says, "Son, no one put no more. God don't put no more than you can bear." And then my sister passed away, my mother passed away, and I miss her. My father passed away, I miss him. But you know what? It's just that you have to, like I know I quote a lot of movies, and my favorite one is Rocky Balboa. When Rocky tells his son, says, "It's no matter how hard you can hit. It's how hard you can take the hits and keep on moving." And also another one is again, I'm a fan of the Batman Begins. It. Why do we fall? Because we learn to pick ourselves up. I'm quoting a lot of movies. I can't help it. Tina, that's me. We got here from
Great one.
man Chad. He says, Teen Titan Tina got every man's attention, including me. Yeah, you guys in
Thank
here.
you, Curtis. I
Yeah.
appreciate
Also,
you.
that's from Curtis. Also, this I know he's getting up to her show. All right, okay. And also, this is from man Raheem Hamilton. He's off work today, so my God, Tina,
Ah,
it's so
Raheem,
fine.
hey.
Raheem, yeah,
I follow
Raheem,
him on
he's been on
Instagram.
my live
Yeah,
stream a couple of times. Great guy. Also,
good
this is
guy.
Lauren says, that's a blessing, George. Thank you, brother. Thank you. And
Appreciate you, Lawrence.
and there you go. He's picking on me, man. My man XA. There he go. Yeah, I can't help XA. I'm just a particular type of criminal, and this is a
You have a
hater.
great voice.
The Joker is he hate no more, like Charlie Murphy said. Like Sicky Johnson said. The play head of the year. So yeah, that's tough about my sport. People got to realize this is a tough sport. It
Hmm.
drains you mentally, physically, financially, spiritually. It takes a lot. There's a lot of sacrifice you make. Most people in the mindset of think bodybuilding like, okay, I pop these magic pills, lift this weight, I can do anything. No, it's a lot of work.
No. Bodybuilding teaches you a certain fortitude that not many people get the experience to have. And putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation will automatically breed you to not be mediocre. I'm constantly putting myself in uncomfortable positions, whether it is in off season or on season, to make myself better. I'm creating that environment. And when you create an environment that's uncomfortable, you don't become placid and then comfortable from it. Whenever you're comfortable in life, that means you need to shift, because comfortability doesn't breed anything good, in my opinion. So by constantly, whether I'm in on season or off season, putting myself in an environment to push myself, and people do it. Well, I couldn't eat what you did, and I couldn't do this, and I translate it to them because a lot of people don't understand the beauty that is the process of all of this. And I say, did you go to college? And maybe they say yes. And I said, did you do your homework? Did you study for your test? Were you cramming? Were you applying yourself? Did you not have a social life? It's the same thing as bodybuilding. You just see the difference in our physiques. You see it in our behaviors every day, rather than a college student locking themselves in a dorm and them practicing. Or when you're trying to advance in a career, you don't really have a social life. You're not interacting with your family as much. You're creating an environment that's solely focused on your goal. And that is what bodybuilding is. And I think there's such a misinterpretation. Like I said, a lot of it is due to the thought process outside of bodybuilding, that it's such an ego driven sport, when in reality, we majority of us turn to this as a mechanism of escaping and making ourselves better, and take social media out of it and the pressures of trying to become something that maybe we're not. Bodybuilding itself, the true and prideful bodybuilders understand that being uncomfortable will lead to any type of success.
Yeah, because if you want to work hard at it, you got to understand the sacrifice you got to put into it, the time you got to put
Hmm.
into it. I know there's times where your family friends say, "Hey, we have events, and where's Tina? You can't go out with your friends and stuff like that. You can't, like, if you go, like I know one lady, she told me where she went to an event like a barbecue, she had to bring her own food because she couldn't
Yeah,
eat what I was eating because what she was prepping. There's so much to the sport that people need to understand. We got here a few comments
but
from. Go ahead.
I also want to add too. So my grandmother, when I was trying to explain it to her how it works, she addressed it as, so she's a recovering alcoholic, and how she translated it is, When a recovering alcoholic who feels comfortable going into a bar goes into a bar and doesn't drink, it makes other people highlight their bad behaviors. They feel bad because you're displaying a good behavior. That's similar to bodybuilding. So if I bring my food somewhere, other people feel uncomfortable because I have my goals, I'm set on them. I can still, enjoy the time with my friends and enjoy the moment, but just because I have my food doesn't mean I'm not having a good time. So people automatically put it on themselves, then blame you, or hey, why can't you just have a little bit? No, I can't. These are my goals. I'm not going to give in to temptation. That's how my grandmother was able to assimilate it to her life. And I think that's a great parallel to use.
Well, shout to your grandma. I hope she's doing well. Alcoholism is one of the tough things I have in my family with addiction stuff like that. I have a nephew he's recovering right now because he has some issues. Family members, it's
Good
just
for him.
and then when you want to tell people, say, hey, why don't you say something? Here's the thing is, I cannot make somebody do what they know they need to do. That's up to
Correct.
them. I can say something, but if sometimes you'd be going out one ear, not the other. Here we have some comments here. This is from Lawrence Perkins, South of Lawrence. It says, yeah, Tina, your story always changes lives on the planet. I enjoy learning you and from you as well. Also,
Thank you, Lawrence.
my man, XA, I speak like he's Tina. He's always makes a fool of himself with the interview. I'm a fool.
It's entertaining.
Yeah, that's what he puts. You want to be informative, entertaining. I also say it like this. It says, that's from my man. This is from wait. What say? This is from XA. He said like this. Says, Tina. He's always. Oh no. Wait a minute. I got so many comments. I got to try to keep up with all of them.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's good. I tell you, like I said.
Comment.
Also, this is from Chad. Says, Mr. George, I just pulled up home again. Thank you for time. Hopefully, I will stop by again in another one of your podcasts. As you, Miss Wilson, hope to hear and see you soon. I'm off security Delta. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. So, folks, we're going to go into social media for a bit, look at some pics, stuff like that. I know you guys is what you guys want to look for. Is, you want to look at the content. But this is something I tell you guys out there. I know you guys here. I know I got a bunch of guys here. They're so excited because you will come in. Here's some advice for you guys. And this is no fish to you, Tina. No fish to you. No D pics.
Thank you. Thank you.
Stop it. I tell you, I've been doing this for a while, and they tell me some crazy. When I used to work at the club, I had a couple of jobs. I used to work with women for a lot. I used to work. My first real job was working as a gas station when I was 16 up till I was like 30. Then I worked like 13 years in textiles. I worked strip club for 6 years. I worked around women a lot, and they'll tell you some stuff when they feel comfortable telling you. And I doing this content when we tell you stuff like, "Hey, guys, some crazy shit, George." I mean, they be talking about this, talking about that, shit, and then and that's why I say this is why I tell you don't send D pics. It's women prefer a silk glove over an iron fist, and I know what you're doing with that iron fist. So anyway, we're gonna jump into.
When people send me that, I put it in my stories and shout them out. And I said, you know how many of my followers go after them? And it's dissipated, to be honest with you, because I think people know like I'll just clap back at them. So
A while back, I was doing we were doing live discussion. I was doing with one guy. Him and his wife. His wife just turned pro. He was a 212 guy. He told me that sometimes guys would send dick pics and he just send one back to him. So
that's genius.
yeah, So we'll go ahead and social media for a bit here, and we'll check out, and guys, like I say, my rules. So this is like this is Christmas, and who's the young lady right there looking up at you?
So I do 6 years now. I've done a charity where I collect toys for very underprivileged kids in Broward County, and this was by far our biggest year. I work in correlation with the Pompano Beach Fire Department, and we service 7 different areas in Pompano Beach, and we had 3 U-Hauls that were 26 footers and 1 Sprinter van filled, and we had to refill one of the U-Haul trucks. It was so big. So this is a charity that I'm very, very fond of. I work very closely with my community constantly. I'm doing clothing drives, food drives. Just being a part of the community is an extremely important thing because I was homeless at one point. I think that giving back and paying it forward is just something that is mandatory in my life. And I do it for no benefit other than just seeing people smile. And I never want people to feel the way I did.
That's good. That's good. You're doing good work. So people, especially as times tough, things, especially the pandemic, a lot of things happen, things change, and it's good to do this charity work. I mean, it's like look at nice toys, little kids were happy, and parents were happy. And that's good work you're doing.
I,
And here, this is one picture I think you guys want to see. Yeah, what was this? Yeah,
that's a little black dress. That was last year. That's my
yeah.
little
We
black
see
dress.
a little bit. We see a little bit in the little black dress.
See, you want to give like a little bit and leave some to the imagination. That's my little thing.
Yeah. And here she just did her first ice bath, and that's tough. I mean, we'll pour here.
Okay.
My Jersey accent came out in this a lot.
Fuck me.
I can do it. Deep freeze is a good food in. I ain't put
I
myself
do
in.
it now. I do it now 5 days a week, and it's in 45 degrees right now.
Oh my god. Ooh. Oh, this is wonderful. Oh, you can breathe. The irony in this situation is quite funny. 6 years ago, I moved down to sunny South Florida. Yes, sunny, warm, fucking Florida. To get away from the Northeast for 2 reasons. One, the fucking politics, which are major suckage. And 2, because of this frigid fucking tundra that is New Jersey and New York. Yet here I am, voluntarily, may I add, in 50-degree water, freezing my patookies off for health purposes, because that's what we do here in South Florida. We do this for health purposes. I will say this. When I was doing cryo on a regular basis, I did see the health benefits. My diabetic numbers got better. My inflammation went down. My cognitive abilities were fucking phenomenal. But I would probably rather marry a goat than do this ever again. But I'm still waiting for that fucking timer to go off. I'm going to do this with a smile on. Because that's what you do with these situations. Just breathe. If this is what labor feels like, I never want fucking Neanderthals as those little children. Oh, come on. Can the timer go off? I really fucking appreciate it. We're gonna go a little dive deeper. Wow. And I hate cold. I hate it. I despise it. I didn't even do snow angels as a child. Okay, I didn't go jump around and make snowballs and like hit kids in the fucking face with them. No, I was inside, and I didn't like drinking hot cocoa either. I was inside with my tea, and my book.
Because I see this from Julie Wetzel. Because I was hoping to do an interview with her a while back, but something like that. You love this more than the cryo. It's just way harder. LOL. My observations over time. Don't set a timer. Leave a running clock. You'll surprise yourself if you don't have a timer. And shout out to Julia Wetzel. I was hoping to do an interview with her, but certain things happen, circumstances that was beyond my control. Here's some guest pictures here. Here it is. This is a photo shoot.
That's a photo shoot.
Who did a photo shoot with?
So there was a guy from Jersey that was kind of like just trying to, do this on the side kind of thing. And he asked me, I said, yeah, free photo shoot. Why not? And this was actually in Jersey by my house, probably about 30 minutes away from it. There was a very rural area in Clinton, and we ended up doing a photo shoot literally under a waterfall.
Yeah. And here is nice little her on the beach. I know, and out there, you like I say, you live up there in Florida now.
Yep.
And this is your car?
Yes, my baby.
Yeah.
Next to my dog, that is my baby.
I want to trade babies with you. Mine's a piece of shit. You have to work on it. and this is where you made your debut at New York. And what was that feeling like? You had to come back and you hit New York stage. What was that feeling when you made your first pro show?
Lawrence will know this, actually. So 20 days before that, I ended up getting very, very ill and almost dying. They told me flat out, it's a miracle you're still alive. To make a long story succinct, I am a diabetic and I have a lot of medical issues. They were like, you'll never compete, you'll never do this. And I'm like, watch me. and they mixed 2 medicines that they never should have, and then one of my other medicines was underdosed, and this caused like a cataclysmic event in my brain, and my whole body shut down. And at the time, my coach was like, "How did you gain 26 pounds in 1 week?" I was having trouble breathing, migraines, seeing was like my vision was all over the place. I was having trouble breathing, couldn't get upstairs, extremely lethargic, but I still did my workouts, I still did my cardio. 26 pounds of water in 1 week. And finally, one night, I said to myself, I can't do this anymore. I'm in so much physical pain. I need to go to the ER. So I went to the ER. They ran blood work. 45 minutes later, they came rushing in. You're in the ICU. And it was just, for 5 days, it was a whirlwind. And when you're told that you shouldn't be alive, like, how did you survive this? The only reason why I survived this is because I take such adamant care of myself. Like, I am a healthful person year in and year out. Beyond bodybuilding, like, I'm a very healthy person. I carry around a tackle box of vitamins. And the amount, I didn't know how to deal with it at first. I had the chaplain come in a bunch of times before I even told anyone. I was there almost 3 days before I told anyone I was there, besides for my coach. And so by the 5th day, I got released, and they were like, "We have to see numbers better before you jump on a plane." And that at that point, I was 10 days out from New York Pro. And I said, "Watch me. I will pull these numbers." So I did everything in my power to make sure my numbers were up, and I was still at home. I couldn't do any cardio. I was doing bands at home. And in 2 days, I bounced my numbers back up from when I was released, and 2 days. And I did my due diligence. And the only thing that sucked was I couldn't pull water for that show. And they told me if I would have pulled more water and able to, I would have placed within the top 5. And to me, it wasn't worth risking my health. It was an absolute miracle that I was able to step on stage literally 10 days after getting out of the ICU and almost dying. So I said to myself before, when I decided I'm going to do New York Pro before this event happened, I said, I just want to make top 10. It's the 3rd most prestigious show in bodybuilding. It's from my home state. Like, I just want to make sure that I place top 10. And 10 days before that, to be told you shouldn't be alive and stepping on my dream stage and placing within the top 10 out of 18 beautiful women, I couldn't have asked for a better result. I was so proud to just step on stage, no matter what the result. I said I could have placed last. Just to be alive and be able to do this and show people. Just to prove my point, when I got home out of the ICU, because I had people like, bringing me home and stuff, I couldn't go up a flight of stairs. I couldn't bathe myself. I couldn't wash my hair. Like, that's how serious this was. So I had to get ready in 10 days for this bodybuilding show that I've been getting ready for months, and figure out how I'm going to bathe myself when I couldn't breathe. Like, that was, to me, crazy. And for me to just say, I'm in the hospital, and behind the nurse's back, I'm like doing pumps, like with with bands and stuff. I followed my diet. I did not cheat once, George. Not once did I cheat in that hospital. And I said, I'm going to do it. And for me to step on stage, and then you got 8th, I was like, what? Like, I just placed 8th out of all this. I was crying hysterically. I had people again fly up from Florida, different states, like, to come and see me, like, to have that support, and then have my friends crying in the audience, because when I did my routine, I did it based on the motivational speeches that I had listened to while I was in the ICU. It was so magical to have these people around me, and they're crying and they're just so happy for me. And I thought winning my pro card was going to be the most amazing moment of my life. But being on stage and God saying to me, no, your time is still here on this earth. You're not done yet. And being able to do that, the amount of feedback that I got, not just because I looked good on stage, but the message that I was delivering through my strife and my struggle, like, that to me is why I want to be on the bodybuilding stage, and why I want to show people the humanity that is bodybuilding. Because if I didn't build the foundation through bodybuilding and my faith that I have right now, I wouldn't have gotten to that stage.
Yeah, I can tell you, was it about 10 years ago? I used to work as a meat packing process plant.
Mhm.
And I was, I used to work in like the cold department because, I worked shipping. And I thought I was, being cold so much, thought I had a cold. So I drew my sister's house. She was a lot closer from home where I was at because she lives in Fayetteville. That's one of the biggest towns, in North Carolina. It is Fort Bragg and now Fort Liberty. I drew to her house. He said, okay, I'm not feeling well. So I said, well, go to the emergency room. So I said, okay, I go to this urgent care place. So while I'm there, they give me tests and say, Miss MacArthur, we found something wrong in your blood. We don't know. We can't do nothing here. So they sent me to Cape Fear Valley, which is the biggest hospital right there in Fayetteville. And then I was there, told me, said, sir, you had a heart attack. You have, because, I have genetically predisposed to just a heart failure. After a while, I was in the cardiac unit for about a week. Let me go home. I saved my sister for a little bit. I couldn't go back to work for a while. And then I went back to work. Then I would see a specialist up there in Fayetteville, a cardiologist. Someone said, well, Mr. MacArthur, we have to use someplace else. So they sent me to UNC. And I saw this one doctor, a little Indian doctor, said, Mr. MacArthur, your fracture rate is below 20%. And then when I knew it got serious when I got the British doctor, Mr.
Was under 20%?
12.
Oh my God. How are you? Anything under 25 is like ridiculously low.
And then when I knew it was serious, when the British doctor says, Mr. MacArthur, we have to put you in surgery immediately. We must put you in surgery. So I've been having.
Did they give you an ablation?
They gave me a pacemaker.
Oh, okay.
But it's been pretty good. I've had some setbacks here and there, but that's been about almost 10 years. Last time I went to my doctor, I went to get a test, and my blood pressure was a little high, so I sent me to the emergency room. That's why I missed my interview with Julia, because I was in the hospital for about a couple of days. But I can understand what you've been through. It's tough, especially if you're genetically exposed. Because my mother's diabetic, I have diabetic, I'm pre-diabetic, but I try to be smart. But even now and then,
you go for the fried chicken, don't you?
I cooked some yesterday. It was chicken wings. I tried not to. I tried to bake, but my oven's been working right, so I ain't feel like boiled chicken, so I put it into the big fry. But I tried.
We need to get you an air fryer.
My
They're
sister
the best things ever.
My sister told me she had one, and I said, "Nah, I got an oven." But now my oven's acting up. I might call her and let me get it. We got some comments from the guys here. This is from Chad. It says, Mr. George, I just pulled up at home. Thank you again. I hope you, I think you said it already. This is another one because I missed that one. I'll say, I'm sorry the words cut off security detail. I could talk to you tomorrow, Miss Tina, if you're available. Great picks, by the way, Miss Tina. As my quote says on my work job, protecting what's important to you. Also, he says, peace, love, and happiness. Also, he says he loves the video. Also, he says, and don't worry, I don't send D pics. Not that type of guy. Thank you,
Chad.
And also, he says, good night, guys. I appreciate that, Chad. Shout out to you. Appreciate for coming on here. And also, we got his from man John Doe. He says, from the ER to the bodybuilding stage within 10 days. That's incredible story. Tina, you are legit bodybuilding badass. You got a new fan in me. Keep up the good work, hard work. And that's what as we
thank you, John Doe.
As we smoke, we said hard work. When you ladies rock hard, we're rock hard. So that's that's the
facts.
Thing. Yeah,
facts.
Because that's what we talked about earlier. That this is the thing about women in the bodybuilding world. You are often a little bit more sexualized than outside of the mainstream, because the fact is, you're something that's not typically, as most people think, of feminine. Most people, like I said, I'm from the South. I'm from North Carolina. Our women a little bit more rounded, a little more shapely. We have a little thing women. I mean, I got to even meet women in the bodybuilding world. A couple of ladies who I've become friends with. She lives in Florida, Amanda Schnooks. We're really good friends. We've been friends on social media. I'm getting interviewed with Amanda. A lady by the name Marianne Wachowski. She reached out to me. She thought I was going to do my regular MuscleTalk Mondays, but now I told her that we'll do it next week. And we guys who follow you ladies, and we admire you. We do, like I said, we have the weird guys out there who can be extreme. The guys who get excited when you gaze on stage. And you realize something. When you gaze on stage, you're dehydrated, you're tired, you're hangry.
We're not the nicest. I'm not gonna lie.
I know. And you did New York. A lady who become friend with Andrea Sauer. She did that show too. Shout out to Andrea. She's been on here a couple of times. Good lady. Her birthday was just this past weekend. I shout out to her. And there's a lot to this sport that people need to understand. And I think it's just that you got to respect your commitment and passion for it.
Well, I think also in this day and age of social media, women also shine their bodies a lot. And I can't just blame the men aspect of it, because women are at fault too, because they want to sell their bodies. Now, that's totally up to them. I'm not judging them. That's just not something I do. If you look at my social media page, you're not going to see any of that. Did I take photo shoots? Yeah. But I think that the most of the comments that I get can be very respectful, just because of how I portray myself and how I do engage with the public. I know that not every woman's going to get that, and that's totally fine, but I also shut it down. And I honestly can say majority of the fans, one of the people who, they use that word schmo in the business, that's considered a schmo, he's one of my close friends, and we just went to the Olympia together. Like we hang out. He's never like been inappropriate with me. So I see where the bad connotation can come forth, but listen, no matter what class you're in, from bikini to women's bodybuilding, we are literally in next to no clothing on stage in a beauty pageant. Of course, it's going to draw some eyes. It's going to draw some sexualizations, but we're literally in no clothes, tanned, oiled up, flexing. I get the sex appeal to that. So we are going to get it. It's just how you handle it at the end of the day.
Yeah. And yeah, it's a lot to it. Like, ladies you work with, because you do expedition. I know a while back when I was doing an interview with a lady we talked about earlier, Daphne, she told me that, she was doing, I think she was getting ready to do a show that year when she was going to exercise with you. I found this picture, and this is like, yeah.
Those are some good memories right there.
I mean, Daphne, both of y'all beautiful ladies. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all just sexy. I would say that I'm a man.
I will take that compliment. That is totally fine. I will take that compliment.
Yeah.
It's funny because George, I literally just stopped talking. I'm on a dating app, and he stopped talking to me because we FaceTime, and he saw my arms, and he's like, "Your arms are too big for me. I can't handle that."
What?
What'd you say, Willie?
I'd be happy if I could get a woman. See, I live in a very small town, and I'm related half the people in the town. I don't have two choices. Even if I go to I live like 2 miles from South Carolina. Even if I go to the next town over, I have people that might be related to that town. I remember, this is a true story. I was at a club, meeting my homeboy. I was talking to this girl, and we were talking, just chatting, just say, "Hey, how you doing?" So, and I said my name. Say, "Oh, your name sounds familiar." I said, "Oh yeah, you know my granddaddy? Who's your granddaddy?" "Oh yeah." "Oh, that was my great uncle."
No way.
my great uncle Hardy, he had 20 head of kids. I mean, he had
20?
3 wives, 2 girlfriends.
That man was
I can't remember.
busy.
Yeah. I know people who were married for a long time, had 10, 15 kids. That's for farming. But yeah, I mean, it's just like, guys gotta understand, you're a woman. You're a beautiful woman. And you need to recognize, don't look at the aspects of your muscle, your body. Look at aspects of you as a woman. And there's a lot of ladies like you who I know who have interviews, who are married, who have kids, who found love. It takes time. You have to. Also, as a man, you be comfortable with yourself. You got to be comfortable as you, as a person. You got my man here, Warrior 2000 says, "Hey Tina."
Hi, Warrior.
Little Titan.
Yeah, I love it.
And also he says, "Are you planning to compete in an upcoming show this year, or taking the break off?" So what's the plan for 2024?
I wanted to compete. I wanted to do New York Pro again. But since the ICU, unfortunately, they gave me a medication that caused some complications that I'm still dealing with health-wise. We haven't been able to start an off season because of these health complications that I'm having, but I am almost done with my treatment plan. I have not lifted in almost 3 weeks, and it's driving me insane, but it's part of this treatment plan. So I'm totally for it, because I know, like, deep down, it'll just make me better. So I have about 4 weeks left of this, and then I am good to go. We are going to start instituting food again. So This year, I will not. I'm focusing on some of my other aspirations that I have, and then building the muscle because there's two specific body parts that I really want to improve upon before I even venture on stage. I'm not one of those people that's going to be a serial show doer and never improve. I take what the judges say to me very seriously. And I have a vision for my own body, even outside of what their desires are. And I know that I'm going to need to put on mass to do so. So the next year, 2025, I'm going to step on stage, probably do New York Pro again. And our goal, I hired Camp Jensen, who's in my opinion, the best in the business. You get what you pay for. And this team is just absolutely remarkable in so many ways. And so next year, I plan on doing New York Pro with them. Our goal is to place top 5 in 3 shows, and I have every bit of confidence in them and myself to be able to do so.
Well, lucky you skits off. You know who is doing New York again.
I just saw.
Yeah, and I'm like this. I understand you want to be competitive, but you were Miss Olympia last year. You are top 3 competitive for this season. Sit your behind down.
I completely agree with you. You're saying it's so on point, George.
She's doing Pittsburgh. She's doing New York, and I believe she might do one more show. She just did a show. I mean, I understand you want
to. I have the same thought process on this. You're just trying to get trophies. Like it's not fair because now you have to place first in your division. You don't have a point standing anymore, so it's taking away opportunities. Like why wouldn't you want competition? Why wouldn't you want to fight against the best? You win a show, okay, or you're qualified. Like if you want to do a show, even if you're qualified, I get it because it's important to step on stage, get feedback, all that stuff, get in the groove. But when you're doing serial shows, to me, it's poor sportsmanship. 1,000%. I do not agree with it.
Well, some people say it's about being competitive and also being active. But at the same time, even though with your divisions, there's more divisions for women's physique and women's bodybuilding. This year, we're supposed to be a little more skills. There's like a little under 10 right now. I mean,
that's not that many.
Yeah, and it's tough because I just posted on Instagram when one guy's out there. He's trying to get some donations for an upcoming show. I mean, I talk about this. I'm gonna talk about this on my next MuscleTalk because this is your interview. This is your time. But I just feel like I think it wasn't a fan too much physique. I call it watered down women's bodybuilding. But doing interviews and talking to you ladies, I have a lot of respect for y'all. It takes a lot of work. This is from my man Michael Boyce. He says, love these chats. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Also, he says, and those biceps, big, beautiful, and gorgeous. Yeah, you go,
Thank
Mike.
you.
There you go, Mike. That's what they want to see. That's what you're supposed to want to see. That's what you get. Now you can put away your lotion and your Kleenex, okay? So, and also, this is from a man, Lawrence, out to Lawrence. He says, me too. I love women regardless shape or size. I date a muscular woman like Miss Tina. Yeah, who wouldn't? He's
so good.
He's
Lawrence
fine.
He's such a good guy.
He's dude. And my man Lawrence says, my man Mike says, you see? Oh yeah, I see. And also this is from my man Raheem. He says, Tina is Tina the Titan. Why are you so fine? Wow. I mean, yeah, I'm telling you.
He's always been really nice to me too, Raheem.
Yeah, Raheem's a pretty good dude. He been on my live streams a couple of times. He has a great insight. Sometimes you might not agree on some things, but I respect his insight. And also, this is from man Mike. Michael says,
the bigger the better.
Yeah, the bigger the better.
I agree.
That's what he said. Sorry. So yeah, and that's good to take this time off because you know what? It's important. Like it's important for the body to heal. If the mind's not right, the body's not going to follow it. Right. And that's your health is more important. I know one time, ladies, sometimes they tell me to George. So one time, this lady I was really friendly with, we just sat and talked about an hour about stuff on the phone. Just sometimes, just so she can get some off her chest. Sometimes it's just you need that help. And it's good that you have friends and family to support you. What was that time like when you got into sport? Right? What was your family thought when you decided, hey, I want to be a bodybuilder after you used to be a track competitor?
So I don't have parents. They're not in my life. My grandparents really raised me. My mother didn't want me because of my disease, and my father's always been like in and out. He's not a bad person. He looks at me and is like, I had a daughter, not a son. Got you. He's not a fan of how I look or any of that. So it's his decision. I have nothing against him. So I didn't really have that backlash from family members because I really don't have anyone. My grandparents, they were a little bit, because we're showing our bodies on stage and, it was a little bit foreign to them. But my grandmother did come to one of my shows. She promised me she would, and she was a ball of life. I'm about to fly to Jersey to surprise her too for her 90th birthday. I'm so excited. So the more of the backlash that I got was actually from my friends. A lot of people just didn't understand why I wanted to put on more muscle and, like, you're going to turn manly. And they just had this misconception because to this day, I don't really hang out with bodybuilders. Most of my core people, they go to the gym, but they're not bodybuilders. And I just gravitate toward people outside of the industry. And so the backlash originally came from those type of people because they don't understand it. Not that they disagree with it, but it was just negativity in the sense of not understanding it and being naive to it. And once they saw how dedicated I've been over these past, years and years, I think it just became more, this is who Christina is and we accept it. So the most backlash that I've gotten, honestly, has been from, like strangers. Like, you'll go out somewhere and they'll give you the snarky look or they won't say anything. I had a woman the other day look at me and goes, gross and scary. And I just looked at her and I was like, Christina, don't go full jersey. Don't go full meadow jersey jacket on them. Don't say it. Don't herb stop her.
Just do just like Adam Sandler in that movie with Jack Nicholson. Food, baba.
But I said to her, your negativity about me just shows your insecurities about you. And I walked away.
Yeah. I mean, people, this is what I know. Like when I fall some ladies and guys make comments say, you're trying to be a man. And then one lady made a comment say, it's guys with boobs and that no shapes that the ones that are calling you me, but like guys like me. But yeah, because I probably got some more boobs than some women in the sport of bodybuilding than natural, but you got to understand, this is a sport of passion, even though, this sport is a poor man's sport. You ladies are competing, like, best story quote is the movie, like I quote a lot of movies, it's from the movie The Incredibles, when Bob is talking to his boss, says, it's your job to keep us in the black. Mm-hmm. But for y'all women in the sport of bodybuilding, for you men and women, you're most of the time competing in the red because there's a lot of money you got to put in this sport. Not just, the cost of your traveling to shows, your trainers, your food,
facts,
hair, makeup, the pose suit alone. Right there, a decent posing suit is going to cost you a couple of grand, and it's just so much to it. Right here, we got some comments here. This is from a man, Raheem. He says, God, I would love to work out with you one day. Yeah, and he says also, keep up the good work.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, shout out to him. Just appreciate it. He says, the naysayers are crude and don't listen to them. Yeah, shout out.
Absolutely, Mike.
Let them hate till they can't hate no more. So, and also,
exactly.
Keep on hanging in, Tina. Long you enjoy and okay. Tina, long you okay. That's all it matters. Recovery takes time, but I see the wisdom in you, God in you. So, also, this is from Man Curtis. He says this. I don't know how you can get in the ice bath. I couldn't even do that, but I do love your yellow dress. Shout out to him.
Thank you.
It takes a lot to do this sport, and and for like we talk about the men's division, all you got to wear is banana hammocks, a pair of board shorts, and tanning. That's not it.
Facts.
It's more expensive for you ladies, and then you change the aspects of what people consider feminine. You are bringing in muscle, which is more considered more manly, but it looks good on certain women. It looks good on you.
Mm-hmm. It's expensive. But luckily, God blessed me with a very good career. I'm a trainer, but I specifically work with injured clients, and we do like therapy work. And I am extremely passionate about what I do. Like it fulfills me to so much a degree, and I make pretty decent money doing it. I'm pretty steadily busy, and I would never get on stage if I didn't have the finances. Like, I know a lot of competitors, they'll risk not paying their rent just to be able to get ready for a show, and then that stress weighs on them. And I don't ever want to go into a show where I'm not going to be my best because I'm stressing about finances. So, but you learn that over time. I think as a seasoned competitor, you learn that because at the beginning, I just wanted to go and be gung ho about competing anytime that I could. But then you realize that life is going to happen and you have to be an adult. And a lot of times, women or men in any division don't really have a career or a life outside of bodybuilding. And I think that they can get lost in that. And if my doctors say tomorrow, Christina, you can never compete again, I have something to fall back on because I have my passion for my career. And I think the two of them intertwine so nicely with each other because it allows me the opportunity to compete without worry. And at the same time, it's still integrated into the bodybuilding world because even though I train like specific injury clients, I do have bodybuilders that come to me with injuries. So I can't tell you, George, how blessed that I am that I get to wake up every day and do what I love, whether it's bodybuilding or my career.
Yeah, it's good that you have a good career. Because I know, as I know, a lot of these ladies that don't have real jobs. Like I know some ladies who have real jobs. One lady, another teen I know, Tina Williams, she works at a bar. She runs a bar. She has a job.
Uh-huh.
People like Mila Ash, she works in corporate world. Um, a lot of ladies do have jobs. Many ladies do, as I call them, the beat the meat websites. That's what they are. We know what they are. They
Yep.
That's the way to circumvent their income because I did an interview with Hannah Hussein, and she mostly does OnlyFans. She does pretty good, and others do like her bicep cam. There's they do the photo sessions after the show because like I said again, when your ladies are in your ripped shredded condition, that's when you, especially you don't make it into the money part of the show. That's the way you make a little cash on the side, and that's the sad part about it. Even when you win like a show, like I think the only show right now that's outside of the Olympia that makes a lot of money for women is maybe something like Texas Pro. I know,
Tampa.
Tampa. No, Tampa still kind of fell off a little bit because I remember
Chicago just cut us. Chicago doesn't do women's bodybuilding anymore. Tim
what?
Gardner show. He took it out, yeah.
What? Tim Gardner? No, no, no. That what
They
the?
may have updated, but when they first released the list, women's
I
bodybuilding
think
was not in there.
it's on there. It's updated. It's on there. I know I saw it because I was going back
So
to
that must have been recent because when we were picking shows for this year, I was before I was like we decided that I needed to take a year off. When we were deciding, hey, is Christina going to compete? What show would she do? I really wanted to do Chicago, but I was debating whether to do women's bodybuilding or physique, to be honest with you. I know I'm small for women's bodybuilding, but I love women's bodybuilding. And we looked at the list and it wasn't on there. So that must have been a recent thing because they got hatred for it. Like it was on bodybuilding news outlets that it was like, why would you take away another thing? But even women's physique, like I think we have 9 shows to choose from. Like that's 9 or 10 shows. That's not enough.
where
But the thing is, it doesn't bring in money. But if they gave us the opportunity to compete like at good times or good days, because don't forget some of these shows are 2 days, we would get people. It's like the 212 division. They always put it on Friday instead of Saturday. Most people can't get off of work on Fridays, so of course no one's going to be able to buy the tickets.
Yeah, because I went to my first barbering show. I went to Savannah, and that was because
Okay.
like I said, I'm only 2 miles from South Carolina. Savannah's a little closer. I got a niece in Atlanta. She invited me to stay in Atlanta because I know I might want to go maybe next time. I was planning to maybe go last year, but I had to get some work done on my car. I hate that car. I hate it. And
Can't have mine though.
I know. I wish I could. And just to go there and meet, like I said, I meet a Popa there, Donna Saleem. I met a lady whose name I do not mention on my channel because of what she did. And it was just great to go there. Yeah, you should do it on Saturday. And I know I think they might have changed it because I've been through the list. Chicago has it. I know it has it.
Okay.
unless
then they changed it.
just change it and you could just update it. But Chicago was supposed to be because I know Tim Gordon has the Tampa Bay Pro, and he has some other shows. The thing is, they always use that it's about the money thing. You know, Arnold. Yeah, the Schwarzenegger and Arnold. You know, I used to watch as a kid. I loved watching Conan the Barbarian, the Terminator movies. And ever since I started doing this content, I've learned stuff about Arnold that this kind of disappoints me. You know, it just made me sad that he pushed out divisions like women's bodybuilding. When he pushed it out, the Mr. National, which is now is a pro qualifier now at Chicago Pro. Maybe that's the show they made call it Chicago Pro. I hope not, because that's a great. That's Jake. Shout out to Jake Wood. He's the one. Yo, Jake. I want that.
Thank you for saving us.
I want that gun. So that's every time I see Jake Wood, I gotta say the Denzel thing. But you know, Arnold pushed out Wins by Living and Get Out Mr. National back in 2013, and that show predated on Schwarzenegger Classic. Then he pushed out Physique 3 years ago, and you know, and then just about 2 years ago, he pushed out Figure. Only thing left is fitness and the TNA division. That's bikini and wellness. There's a young lady who I did interview. Her name is Anna Famina. She competes in fitness. I might talk about the fitness division. I did an interview with Stephanie Jones a while back. I might talk about it on my channel. Don't talk too much about the armor because the fact is I don't talk about shows that don't have the divisions that makes my channel. I will talk about fitness a little bit because I do follow some of those ladies and I do get in contact with them. Here this is from my man, Raheem says, Tina, get that money. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I gotta pay for car parts.
Also, this is from Tony says, glad to hear that you will take the whole year to grow. Your legs seem to be your strong point. Which body part will you focus on this off season? So what's like we did, and you say we did New York City, you wasn't dry enough because you were dealing with your medical issues. What did the judges tell you? Give you critique of at the New York Pro?
So their main critique for me, which has always been the critique with every show that I've ever done, is my back. My back has never been thicker or wide enough. And I knew that going into the show. It's always been my weak point. So Justin and I have really been one of my coaches on my team. That's like our mainstay, is to figure out why my back doesn't grow. I was getting massages every week. I do recovery. I'm doing acupuncture. Like I do a lot of stuff for recovery. It's just every person has that one body part that just is stubborn and doesn't want to grow. And I have this idea. Of course you remember Juliana Malacarne. Oh God, she is absolutely exquisite. I love her body. And I never wanted to be like the physique girl where they weren't sure if it was bodybuilding or physique. Like I either wanted to do physique or bodybuilding. I didn't want to have it be one where one body part is bigger than the other. So I know that I have to catch up on my back. And me personally, I want my quads bigger. So that's my preference. They never said anything bad about my legs. Thank you for the compliment, by the way. My legs have always been like pretty good on stage, but for me personally, I would like bigger quads. So they told me that I'm very feminine on stage and that they love my routines. They love my smile. They love every other body part that I have. But my back is always
Yeah. And like I said, that's the thing is like, it's more important that one thing you have to have that complete physique. You want,
Agreed.
one thing debate is about the divisions, how they're starting to meld. When physique was supposed to be the replacement for women's bodybuilding. And that's why I would say like there need to be more shows for women's bodybuilding because you have competitors like I talked about some channel, Ashley Jones, she's moving up, who started out in fitness and she went to physique. Now going with bodybuilding. There's also debate about Emily Schubert, how this last year, how she looked at the Olympia, where her quads were bigger than some women in women's bodybuilding. I mean,
I thought she was doing bodybuilding.
Yeah, and if you look at over the figure division, you look at City. I think is the absolute perfect, elite level of figure. But then you look at women like Jessica Reyes-Padilla. You look at Lola Montez. There's one lady from Germany. Her name is Lena Romsteiner. I mean,
they're big.
They're getting to the point where they're looking like what physique was supposed to look like when it first started, like Julia McCarr. But it's just that one thing is I think the judges have a lot of control. they like, I got a friend. His name is Big Keith. He's a pro men's bodybuilder. He's supposed to be competing this year. He's making his return after taking some time off and dealing with medical issues. And we talk about how it should be some set guidelines. Always set guidelines for the other divisions, for the men's classic or men's figure, you might as well call it, men's physique or men's bikini, you might as well call it. They have some guidelines for them, and even for bikini and wellness. But then they don't set the guidelines for women's bodybuilding or physique. That's why some women just say you can cross over. I do a thing called comparison videos where I compare.
Okay.
You can go to my channel and compare. Some ladies like it, some ladies don't. But it's just, and I've said that I would cross physique competitors with women's bodybuilding competitors, especially if they have the two mandatory poses as the front and rear lat spread. And then you see like this. You know what? Even though the aesthetics are different, the posing is different. There's not much difference from other than maybe a little here stuff like the X Factor, whatever. Like this is a picture I'm gonna pull up.
Like if you compared Iris Kyle to Juliana Malacarne, you would know the difference.
Mm-hmm. But you compare
from one to the other.
But you compare Julia to Julia to Linda, you couldn't tell the difference.
No.
Yeah. Or like this is a good example here.
Not in her later years. Her later years, she did get bigger.
Yeah. This is a good example here. This is Margie Martin, and this is Ashley.
I love Margie.
Yeah. You wouldn't think they're two different divisions.
At all.
You would think.
I agree with you.
You would think they were both women's bodybuilding. I think by look of it from her shoulders, I think Ashley has fuller muscle bellies compared to Margie. Margie's got bigger quads, and I think she's more of a tapered waist, but you can barely tell. Also, this is an example here. I always put this up. Sarah Vilgas and Missy
Trescott.
Yeah, and if you look at Missy, and she's recovering, and she's doing all right. Shout out to her. If you look at them, the X Factor is different, but still, you were thinking they're both in the same division. You might think, okay, I think she could be figure or she could be physique. Either way, but it's just the guidelines are getting so close where you can't tell which is which, who is who. So
and I don't know how they can reward, like even on a regional level for regional shows, someone will cross over from figure to physique, and then automatically, and all of a sudden they win both divisions. Like conditioning is different, hardness is different. How does that even happen? But the thing is, there's not in South Florida, there are too many shows, and what happens is, with all the shows, it means less competitors per show. So what I've faced up north, there wasn't that many shows in comparison to what's down here. So the volume of people that would show up to a show up north compared to down south is completely different. Like you'd be 18 to 20 people in a figure division, where down here, you'll have a show every weekend, and then you're only having 4 or 5 people in a division, and then someone's nationally qualified that probably shouldn't have. So and you're getting crossovers and people trophy hunt. So I think it's just depending on the region also gives way to how the judges are going to lean. So it's all over the place, to be honest with you. There's really no consistency. So I've listened to what the judges say, but at the same time, I have a look that I want to achieve. So I know that that's the right look for me. So I go with both things.
Mm-hmm. Like, take me with greatest shot of the Sony show. Keep on pushing. We got here from a man, Michael Boyce. He says this. He says, that shirt is screaming mercy. Say it, no mercy. Also, this is from Tony 97. Says you're worth 1,000 men, Tina. Nobody can stop you.
Oh,
Also,
God bless you. Thank you, Tom.
From man Raheem. He says, George, my insight is not always for people to agree. That's the best part of the debate. Yes, I say that.
I agree with you completely.
Props, brother, but also we have disagreements. It's like brothers can fight, but sometimes family can fight among family, but anybody else mess with you, that's a different situation. Also, this conversation. My man Curtis says, I'm sorry about your parents. I can tell you too about my father. It's like the quote the other guy. My father was drunk and a fiend. My mother never liked it. Not one bit. But we passed, me and him made several differences, man, and he's my father. I miss him. Also, this is from Tony. He says, I can't wait to see you get even bigger, Tina. what's your height and weight? So, you never ask a lady that because, but, yeah, I'm not going to force you to it.
I
So
mean, I actually don't mind it because I, it, I don't find it as an insult because I've built so much muscle. Like, listen, I haven't worked out well. I've been off the gym for almost 3 weeks, but honestly, I haven't had a good workout in probably about 4 or 5 months, and I still weigh 170 pounds. And I'm not fat. I'm just, I'm soft right now, but yeah, I'm proud of my weight. I worked hard for this, and I'm 5'4".
yeah, I tell you, before my mom passed, I was almost 500 pounds, and I'm 5'7", and I'm down to about 390 right now.
Congratulations.
I was going to gym. I was going to gym, but then some stuff was going on. I couldn't go back as much as I used to. Car problems, this and that. But I'm planning once I get that solved, I'm going back. I was going to Planet Fitness. I know it's not everybody's favorite gym, especially bodybuilders.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I hate it.
Walking is the healthiest thing you can do. You don't need a car to go for a walk.
Well, I walk, every now and then, but not too much because I got, like I said, you talk about knees. I got 2 bad knees like Stone Cold Steve Austin. I got arthritis in one. Other one, it is, I can't walk too much because sometimes I'd be like, but I try to be as active as I can, as much as I can. But I still need to do those stuff to really get everything pushing. That's what's important about exercises. So this is from Man Lawrence Book. It says, you have family and biggest support, including especially the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Shout out to him. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Lawrence.
Warrior, do you get a lot of schmoes on your Instagram page? Who are your fans of yours? And this is one. Remember, I did an interview with Cheryl Foose, and she told me, like, we're not schmoes, we're friends. But I said become a schmo. I am a muscle person schmo. You ladies excite me.
There's different levels though, like.
Yeah, but as long as you don't go over the limit and you stay within, something, we think we in qualifiability. Also, this is from War 2000. You remind me of your younger Colette Nelson, in my opinion, but not much prettier. But much prettier, said. But
oh my God, that's such a nice compliment. Thank you.
You missed it. She was trained by Colette Nelson. You missed that, Warrior. Shout out to him.
We would go out together and hang out because we were friends too, and people would think I was her sister. Swear. And I was like, oh, that's the nicest compliment ever.
Yeah, but other than, who do you like in the sport? Who do you follow? Who you're like you fangirl? Like, you probably met some of them during your time as a competitor.
I would say so. I'll be honest with you. I'm not much who follows in the industry itself. I love the sport. I'll be 100% honest. I am in love with the sport, and anytime I go to a show, it's just I'm awestruck because I just love it so much. But I would say out of everyone who I follow, like I said, I don't follow too many people, but Brooke Walker, bar none. She's a businesswoman. She's a smart woman. She is aesthetically so pleasing. She's got that tight, compact tomboy type look, and she's very feminine. And I absolutely love her. To me, she should have been Miss Olympia. She's my absolute favorite.
I agree with you more to that because I interviewed a couple of ladies that were trained by Brooke. I think she has a great look. She has that girl next door look to her.
Yes.
She has a great physique. 2022, she should have won. 2023, I think she kind of, she didn't come in as the best condition like she did last year.
But they kept telling her she was too much, like she was coming in too hard.
And that would hurt Sarah Vilgas because this happened to Iris Kyle when she lost to Alexandra King. I was told she was too hard. She came in softer. She lost to Alexandra King, but then she bounced back and she won 9 straight after that. That's the thing. And sometimes you got to take the judge's advice as a grain of salt and toss her show, keep moving. This is from Michael Boyd. Shout out to Michael, and he's going through something. Said, I'm in Hudson Bear Creek on nursing home, currently under C19 watch. All right, brother.
Michael, feel better.
Feel better. My
God
mother,
bless.
she had got it, and my mother's already sick, and then boom, it didn't take a long to pass. Also, this is from a man. Tony says, Tina exudes femininity from all the pores. He says,
you guys are making my day. Let me tell you, you guys are wonderful.
He says here, Mike says, here in Florida, we have people who have the wrong impression. They still think that it's porn but the knobs will never know. So noobs. He said noobs. Sorry, I mispronounced it. Yeah, but yeah, it's a sport. People enjoy you ladies. We follow you ladies. I do this content because the fact is I give you ladies a voice, and you deserve a voice because you know what? There's other only like they got Dee on the spot. You did Dee. There's Female Bodyman Channel. There's my man. His name's David Bryant. He lives in Florida. Also, he does Female Bodyman Forum. The man KL who was here. KL he does content. We respect my ladies. We want to give you a voice that a lot of people are not giving to you. I mean, it's just women's bodybuilding is going through some tough times. But if people have the courage to say, you know what, let's support these ladies. Let's give them the opportunities. Even Physique's getting that stink eye. Even though your show's not cut back as much, but still you're getting that look because the fact is you're no longer the Arnold. But
well, we're not to them. We're not as marketable. But this is what I tell like Metabolic. I've been with Metabolic for a while. Con la Titan 10, if you're interested. But what I love about Metabolic is they're not shy to display my physique and match it with their product. Well, most people look at us, they know that we work hard. So if I were to display a creatine versus a bikini competitor, who do you believe takes the creatine? Like there's a certain market for everything, right? I get a fat burner, maybe you want a bikini competitor, or like a BCA, maybe you want a wellness competitor. But when it comes to muscle, I could sell protein powder like that because people are going to look at me and actually believe that I take it. So I just think that in this realm of supplement companies where they're like sex sells, you're displaying maybe only to the bodybuilding world and not real life, because a mom from, let's say, Arkansas maybe doesn't want to look like a bikini competitor, doesn't know anything about competing or the world of bodybuilding. That can intimidate them. So if they're over sexualizing things rather than trying to display like a product for what the value is attached to it. So I just think if supplement companies got away from this whole sex sales thing and really actually dove into the product itself, a lot more would sell, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, one time I did one of my comparison videos with one of the ladies, and Kale, you always ask me who did it. I can't remember who it was. I made a video. He said, George, I like the fact you didn't over sexualize it. You did talk about us. You did show the pictures, but you didn't go to like, wow, she got a big, huge rack. She got a fat ass. She got, I'm kind of excited. But, that's what I think, people need to realize that. Yes, sex does sell. We can't run away from that.
1,000%.
But
to a degree.
Yeah.
To a degree.
Yeah, we're here. We got some comments here. This is from my man, KA. He says, what music you like to work out to in your gym? What's your music?
Oh my God, you guys are going to laugh.
No, I'm not going to laugh.
So I'm a very avid reader. That's like what my pastime is. I don't have cable. Like I read all the time. So usually when I'm working out, because I always work out alone, I never work out with anyone, I'm listening to either a Audible book or I listen to, like, sometimes I'll listen to music, sometimes I'll listen to house music. But even in my car, like I'm big in listening to YouTube. I love information and I love to be stimulated. So honestly, having to switch through like songs constantly and find your groove, like I'd rather either listen to a YouTube or a podcast or something like that.
Yeah, me when I was working out, I had like I remember a playlist. I had like a lot of rap, R&B, some really kind of house music. There's one song. It's like some guy made it's like a Rocky Balboa. I'll send it to you later. You listen to it, you like it. And it's one like because I'm a big fan of The Dark Knight. It's one like it's like the theme music from Dark Knight. The guy took it and just made it like really, it's something that keeps you going. The Rocky one, I love it when you hear Rocky Balboa, stop my heart.
Hell yeah.
That Rocky just gets you going.
Lighten it up.
Say like Rocky Balboa, the Italian stallion. It just gets me going, it's something. It helps you keep going, keeps your mind steady. Here this from a man. He says, Tony 96 says, I'm sure by the end of the year, your back will be twice the size. It's now. Go Tina. Also, yeah, and also, and Mike
also make you proud.
Yeah, says some people are so clueless. Yes, they are clueless. Shout out to my man Raheem says, Hey, George, episode 172, about 200 episodes. Cool. I could have been more, but I had a while back. My computer broke down and I missed a
You'll
couple
get
of
there.
episodes, but
You'll get
it's
there.
taken there. Also, this is from Warrior Tim Gardner shamefully excluded women's bodybuilding division. What the fuck? Well, I'm gonna check to see if he did because I know I saw they might have changed it because there were some changes. I hate to do that. I mean, Chicago show. I don't know. It's just some. I don't know what's going on.
I will be
Also,
very disappointed if they keep taking out women's bodybuilding because Jake Wood brought it back, and I'm so glad he brought it back because it's such a beautiful art. And even if I'll never get to the women's bodybuilding stage and I stay in physique, I have such an amount of respect for the women that get up on that stage, and for other people not to see it, that what I do or what you do or many of the followers do, it's a real shame.
yeah, because I think you got to think about it. You have women right now, like Anne Marie Moon's going to be doing New York,
Okay.
and you follow her. She's the point where she's from France. I interviewed Barbara Majan, who's also from France, and said because in France they don't like women with much muscle. And the thing is that you get to that point where there's a picture of Anne and Judy Wetzel. They were both women who did the Vancouver Island show. If you look at them, they wear clothes, but if you look at them, you were thinking they're both were bodybuilders. You weren't thinking that they were one was physique, one was bodybuilding. And Julia was also in women's bodybuilding. A lot of these women who start is one thing, especially we get like Sherry Priami who I interviewed. She was in physique. She started to move up because of the fact that she's getting that older. She's getting that muscle maturity. She's almost 50. I think she's gonna be 49 this year.
She's that old.
Yeah. And she took
Oh
four.
my God. I would have never guessed that. I would have never guessed that.
Yeah, 3 kids, took fourth at the Olympia.
Bless.
The lady took fifth.
Incredible.
The lady took third, Arsenio Barrito. She got injured a while back, but if she can make it, she can make it. You got Helter Vito. I saw she interviewed with Female Boundary Channel.
I love her.
I follow her. She comments on stuff. She's planning on coming back. I think she said because she's been the 2-time right field champion, she's got permission to compete in the Olympics. She won't compete in any shows.
Oh,
so
that's great.
And one thing Jake could do, because Jake owns the Olympia, bring back top 5 for women's bodybuilding. That would help because think about people like Sherry and the others, like Natalia, they won't have to compete at shows. I think Sherry said she might take the year off. I know.
So I agree with that to a certain, but I only think it should be with certain divisions. Hear me out on this.
Go ahead.
Women's bodybuilding and women's physique don't have a lot of competitors in it in comparison to figure, bikini, and wellness, which are huge divisions now. Even fitness doesn't have a lot. So in those divisions, I could understand like top 3, top 2, because there's so many competitors in that division versus fitness, physique, and bodybuilding, where please bring back top 5 because there's not as many of us out there.
Because one thing with, like I say, especially for women's bodybuilding, because it's the oldest division next to men's bodybuilding. I can understand why because we all know men's bodybuilding is the bottom bitch. It's the one to bring in the money.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. But it should be where your wheelchair has point system. So why not give the point system to women's bodybuilding and maybe fitness and also physique. With bikini, there's like 2,000-3,000 shows. Same thing with wellness.
Literally.
And didn't talk about because there were so many people competing because that's what you're telling point system. But then when you have promoters who puts out 100 bikini and wellness shows, about 100 men's classic and men's physique shows, and you get 100,000 men open bodybuilding shows, that's the problem. It's not that if you drop just 2 people from one division each, you're not really hurting the time that much.
And you're lacking in quality of competitors, meaning you have people coming up in the ranks that are getting nationally qualified that probably don't deserve to be, but are, because remember, like I said, in South Florida, there's so many shows that there's not as many people per show because there's so many shows available. So if you're doing all of these shows for figure, for bikini, for men's physique, when you have all of these shows that have those categories, you're lessening the competition and the merit that that person has as a winner. So you can win a show. Let's say there's 150 shows a year for men's physique. Well, maybe like 15, 20 of them shouldn't be qualified for the Olympia, but they are anyway because they want to show because there's so many available. Whereas women's physique or women's bodybuilding, we don't have that many to choose from. So we're all clawing at each other to be able to get into these shows. And then maybe there's 5 or 10 girls that never made it to the Olympia stage that deserve to be there, but we don't have the shot because there's not enough shows for us.
And then they been cutting some shows from Europe. There was a show, the European Championship, where Chelsea won. They dropped women's bodybuilding. There's going to be another show in Spain. There was last year. It was like because of,
Really? They dropped that show? They dropped bodybuilding?
Yes, they did.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Female Bodybuilding Channel posted. I'll send the link later. You want to check it out? This show in Europa, it's called the Imperio. It's supposed to be taking their place. The Portugal Pro is still going on.
Romania.
Romania, that's for next year's Olympia because the lady won it for this year's Olympia, Lavinia. She won it for last year for this year's Olympia.
Yeah.
And it's just the fact it's the money thing. It's always been the money thing. I think what somebody told me that it's $25 for the sanction fee, and then if the shows don't bring in money, like one thing, a lot of people don't go. A lot of people go to shows because you can watch it on live stream. If you really want to go, like it was a great opportunity because I never got an opportunity to go to the show. I wanted to go and I went because it's something I always wanted to do. But it's just about the money, travel, this, that. It's just so much to it.
You have also less people going to shows now because of the economy crisis that we're going through. So competitors don't have the money to compete. You have people not buying the tickets because they're so astronomically expensive. Let's face it, like the tickets to get into shows are not cheap. So if you made it less shows, more competitors, you create a commodity from that. And from that, you're going to create more money. So less shows mean promoters don't have to put out as much money, right? Because instead of them doing 4 shows, maybe they do 2 and they go extravagant with them. They make it into an event, and then you're having more people going. Like I just went to a show. My boy Brian competed. I traveled up to Daytona with one of my friends, and we watched him compete. There was next to no one in the audience. And this is a pro-am show. And that was sad to see. I was like, I don't know if it's the times. I don't know if it's because of the economic state. I don't know if it's because there's not really fans of bodybuilding here. But I felt bad for the promoters too because they're not making their money back.
And then, like I said again, it's about bodybuilding not as popular like it used to be. I think women's bodybuilding height was maybe around about, I would say the golden age era was maybe about the 80s, silver age was right about the 90s, and then really it started to pop down when it hit about the bronze and modern age of bodybuilding. You had the Corey Evensons, you had the Richard Miller. She commented on some stuff, and I saw it. Indeed, he had posted on his page. I saw it. I think I shared it with the ladies, and really, it's just about. If one thing I think, if there's people out there who can have the means, like if we have people like Jake Wood, or like someone like Elon Musk, who's a fan, that could really help. He can take a loss. He has it. We have here this from my man Mikey says, get Colette for an interview is the main. Where he said, I would love to have her if she ever have opportunity to come on. Also, yes, your thighs are wondrous. Tina, your body is the perfect mix of power and elegance, a true wonder of the world.
Oh, thank you, Tony.
Also, we have here from Mike says, Zena Zika is who is that? I don't know that. It says, her
I have no idea who that is.
Yeah, her strongest legs, her punishment to soccer and basketball is classic. It must be some other athlete. I wouldn't know. Also, this is from Mikhail says, the average person won't be able to tell the difference with the women in physiques. Yeah, that's true. Also, as Mike says, she has a YouTube and a page on X. Well, like I said again, if you want to follow her social media stuff is in the description, and you'll just you can follow her on her platform. She's on IG. You can follow her there. But guys, my rules. I'm gonna keep repeating this. Also, this is from let's see. This is from Michael says. He says Cesar Romero is the ultimate joker. I like Cesar Romero, but he's not better than Heath or Jack is pretty good. I love Jack. Here's Johnny. And also, this is from you be overdoing it with the Joker with some lines from the same lines from the movie because those are the best lines. And I know I know you don't like the Joker, but I love him because you know why? He completes me. So yeah.
You embody him.
Yeah, I have multiple personalities. This is one of them is the Joker. There's one guy I call him the Perfect Sage. Also, there's also a man, the Timothy Johnson Player of the Head of the Year, and also there's I call myself Jon Snow, the Bastard of Winterfell, the Lord of the Wall, because sometimes my little waivers will send me information, and I just and I use the information when I make my content. So also, this is from a man. It says, "George, meet up with Richard Simmons and take it back." They're supposed to be doing a movie about him. I think Paul Shore supposed to pay him, and say Richard
Oh,
don't
no
like.
way.
Yeah, I saw a clip on YouTube. It was like a little fan movie. It was sitting in. I tell you the truth, Paulie looks enough like him. I mean, you couldn't tell. So this is one thing I ask you, ladies, especially after the show. You get New York. What was that thing that called you? What was that thing that was you wanted the most? That's a little thing that little thing that it takes away after you died after that show. What was that?
Oh, okay. I always crave I have a tradition after every show. One, everyone in my comes back to my hotel room and we all party with peanut butter whiskey, Screwball. That is by far, that is every time we do. We get Reese's cups. We all eat Reese's cups. And then we go to a steakhouse and I always get the same thing. I get a tomahawk, I get bone marrow, I get a wedge salad, and then I'm done. Like I don't go crazy like a lot of these donuts and cakes and all that stuff. I've learned my lesson from many years of competing that you feel like crap the next day, so you don't do it. You gradually do it. But after New York Pro, like I said, I had a bunch of friends fly in to see me, so we did that. We went to did our normal thing, and then the day after, we went to a place called Tony Baloney's, which is like the ultimate cheat space in New Jersey. And we just got all these different pizzas, and we all kind of ate off each other. And I posted some videos, and people were just like amazed with how we could eat. So I usually go, but my go-to, literally right after I get up on off stage, is Screwball and peanut butter cups. I'm a peanut butteraholic, basically.
Most bodybuilders love peanut butter, especially if you're diabetic. Peanut butter is pretty good. My mom used to love peanut butter because she's diabetic. It's a good alternative, especially if you want something sweet. And it
Yep.
doesn't spike your sugar too much. It's good that food is both a tool and a weapon for a bodybuilder. I mean, it's good to follow a good diet. I know sometimes it's tough. Like I know I talk to ladies who have kids, and sometimes they have like the kids be eating like mac and cheese and chicken nuggets, and then you were eating rice and quinoa and dried turkey, and it's so tough that and it's just important to you that you have to follow the diet. It's
Mhm.
part of the process. You have to be consistent. You have to give the morning. Do like one thing I know a lot of bodybuilders' least favorite exercise is leg work. You feel like the episode of the True Heart Story of Charlie Murphy when he had talked about how the time when Rick James come to the house and he messed with the couch and he beat his legs, and Dave's like Rick James calling out and saying, "What are my legs, Charlie Murphy?" And and you have to follow these consistencies. And I know the things you take a rest, you relax a little bit, but then you get back to the gym, you hit it hard. We got here. This is from a man, Mike. He says, "I never miss the chats. I always am on here." Also,
Thank you, Mike.
so thank you, Mike. He says, I love it, Tina, giving me a shout out, made my day brighter. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. I think these
Feel
guys,
better too, Michael.
as they say, haters gonna hate, and let them hate till they can
Facts.
more. And also, this is from a man. Lawrence says, sending prayers to everyone from the guests, host, and everyone on the chat. Thank you, Lawrence. He's a
Thank
great.
you, Lawrence.
Appreciate
You're the
him.
best.
Also, this is from a man, Walter Stallion. Hypothetically,
Hypothetically.
hypothetically, I can tell, if you had millions and millions of dollars, I would increase the money amount for prize award checks in these women divisions to 200,000 for all the winners. Well, that could be
Thank you for the respect.
most definitely for like show like the Olympia. Andrea shouldn't
Yeah.
get she should get at least maybe $200,000. If the guy who's third can get $100,000, why not the Miss Olympia? And and also the prize money, because that's one thing. I remember Margie talked about how when Chelsea won at the Tampa year before last, how she got like maybe was $3,000. That's not much. You got to think about it. Instead of getting, it costs you ladies a lot to compete.
It deters people from competing.
Yeah.
When you don't make it a fair swing, like you're going to give $450,000 to Mr. Olympia, but you can only give the girls 12 grand. What makes a woman want to compete? They think because that these guys are going to bring in more money. Do they sell tickets? Yes, to a certain degree. But if you shone a better light on the women, or made the divisions more fair, or had more of it got off your edifice that you already have this preconceived notion that women's bodybuilding or women's physique is bad, right? And and Jake stepped in more. I really think that women could make more money.
Yeah, but Jake, he's out there on the promoter. You had guys like Gary Udit. You have, also Tim Gardner, Linda Murray. She promotes the show in Atlanta, but she one point she had almost 3 shows, but she lost Savannah, and she had a show in Virginia. She lost that. One thing, she needs backers, people who can put money behind her. Sponsorship that helps. Here we have
Absolutely.
This is from a man. Warrior says, "I would treat all you ladies right, guarantee." Also, from a man, Lawrence says, "Nothing wrong with that. Ready helps to feed the line, body, and soul." And also, this is from Warrior says, "Love Brooke Walker. She's my favorite. One of all women's physique. Not a fan of Sarah Vigors, but Brooke Walker should win my opinion." Well, I'm not a big fan of Sarah, but I did respect what she did. When Arnold's going to push out physique, she put up her money. She can afford it because every year her husband goes to flying to the Olympia on Leo Jet. She can afford it. She put money.
I don't know where they get their money from.
I think he might be some old family man. He might be his family might be wealth. I don't. She owns her own gym. Sure. She owns her own private gym she works out in. So I think he has deep pockets. So and that's the thing is, if you have the wealth, you can do it much as you can and much you want. This is from a man. Raheem says, "When I work out, I listen to the sounds of humpback whales."
Humpback whales.
I like to hear something like this. Also, this is from a man. Michael says that there's one of the Apollo Creed sons on AMC. I think he's supposed to be Creed the movie. I never remember much of the Creeds. Also, where it says Brooke is the sweetest. Yes, she
really is. She's wonderful.
I was talking with her. I was hoping to do an interview with her, but we just, I don't know. I know she's busy, got a lot of stuff, so I'm not going to rush her and bother her too much. Also, Sly even made an appearance. He was now on Paramount Plus in Tulsa King. Yeah, Sly said, "To Rocky, yo, Rocco." Also, this is from Raheem, and I said it's about ticket sell. If female bodybuilding shows are not selling, then you have to take it out. It's about money. And I understand it's about money, but still, these women,
they don't give us the opportunity, though.
Yeah, and you think about it. This is what happened to physique when they pushed out women's bodybuilding after the last Olympia, cut out the shows. A lot of competitors who were too small for women's physique, too small for women's bodybuilding went to women's physique. But then because those women sticked in there, they started developing to hit the most maturity. The division evolved. That's why women's bodybuilding is needed. It's needed for those women that I'm outgrowing. If you look at someone like you were there with Natalia. I know a lady who's a friend of mine. She saw Natalia how big she has gotten. She's almost.
Yeah, I don't think seeing her in person, she's not women's physique, in my opinion.
She did. I think they did have right there in London. They had a little women's conference. I think Sandy Williamson was heading that, and she was there with Andrea, and they were fully clothed on the scene to get opposing. And she's not too far. If you like, I think I was trying to do one of my comparison videos with her and Angela Yo, but one thing.
I love Angela.
Yeah, I think she has a beautiful physique. I love her physique.
Beautiful physique.
Beautiful physique. Just good lines. I mean, and this is one thing. This is my purpose. I love the chick.
I thought she was going to win. I honestly thought she was going to win this year. I saw her and I was like,
I didn't think. I knew she was going to win because she does have good aesthetics, but she's just not at the level of Andrea. Andrea is the woman to beat. She's the gold standard. If you're not able to touch to the
I
gold,
also think Andrea's look is a lot prettier.
well, to me she is. Now you're gonna we gonna have
Well, someone's a little biased.
hey, we're gonna have problems. We have a problem here. We're gonna have a problem here. Be cool. It's my channel. That's my woman. See, I got a problem with my back. I love Andrea. This is my brother. This is my brother, my man Keith. And him and his wife are working with Andrea, her coach John. And he put his hands on my woman. I don't know why he put his hands on my woman. He sent me this just because he want to pick. He just like he know I can't do nothing about it because I'm up here. He's in Detroit. I mean, I love you, my brother. But I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can see the emotion behind this.
I'm sorry. I just okay.
You're in love. You're awestruck. I get it.
Yes, I am. I'm sorry. I'm a smile like that. But here's the thing is, there should be more opportunities for you ladies, even for physique and women's bodybuilding. This is where it is. What's going to happen for women who get to the level where, okay, I'm competing in figure. I can't keep a figure if I get bigger and bigger. If I get quads by the size, my quads get bigger. My shoulders get broader. I mean, I got to go somewhere where I can develop and grow. Some women will fight, say, I don't want to go there because I won't be feminine anymore. I want to stay here. But then when you don't place well, when you don't even make it to the Olympia, you don't even make it top 5 at a qualification show, and you realize that, people like even Andrea said this about Ashley. Says she has those aesthetics, and when you start growing, developing to the level where you don't fit, you need to move up. This is what Tiana Flex told me. It's not body breaking, it's body building.
Facts. Great point of view.
Yeah.
I actually have to get going soon though, because I have to be up at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I know. These guys are here. Guys, I'm sorry, guys. I can't get to all y'all asking because I know she has to get ready. It's already almost 6:30, almost 7. But we do appreciate your time, and thank you for letting me know.
Yeah, I'm not trying to rush you. I just I'm in bed by like 9 because I got to get up so early.
Yeah, I know. But like I said, here's from man Michael Boyce that says, Tina is Supergirl. There you go, Mike. Yeah, little boys. And also, this is from man Warrior says, live stream for IFBB for pro shows are ludicrous, especially the Olympia and Arnold Classic. Yeah, it's crazy.
Sure.
And it's just a lot. And this is from Warrior says, 1991 Miss Olympia show was the first ever to air on ESPN back in the day. Yeah, I used to watch.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, you show bodybuilding on regular television. But like I said, we're not holding too much longer. We do appreciate the time she's giving us. And this is something I think you ladies need most definitely is sponsorship. Because you have sponsors, and that helps you out a little bit. Sponsorship does help. I know a lady right now, her name is Eunice. She's running her own program called Bad Rap. I'll send you her link and you might check her out. You want interested in it. Those sponsorship helps you out with money. It costs everything. It costs a lot to compete. And if there's sponsors who like, okay, knock a few bucks off of, okay, if I need my supplements, pay this or pay that, that's good. And you mentioned you have your sponsors. Who are your sponsors again?
So I'm sponsored by Metabolic Nutrition and also a clinic in Las Vegas called Magnus Medical, who I think extremely highly of. I've known Dave for 7 years now, and I trust him with my health. Like I said, they even compound my medicines. They just have such an amazing array of products and availability to their customers that I very much respect. So when he asked me to be one of their athletes, I was completely honored. So those are the two companies. CJ isn't sponsoring females anymore. I've been with CJ for the past like 3 years. This year she's not sponsoring anyone, but I was with CJ Elite 2, who is and will always be the most amazing suit maker in the business.
That's Cynthia James, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I remember I did an interview with a lady who's a mixed martial artist. She used to be a fitness competitor. She told me that was one way she worked with. I reached out to her a while back for you, but I know she's a busy lady. She never get back. But yeah, this is from my man Warrior says, Jake would bring back the point system. Yeah, yo Jake,
please,
yo Jake,
please.
Yeah. Also, this is from my man Michael Boyce. It says, Good night, Tina. I think he's about to go to rest.
Thank you. I hope you feel better, Michael.
Yeah, and he says, yeah, he says this. He says, she scooped up Skip like a feather. I mean, we talking about Skip.
I'm not really sure about that.
I think there's so many questions I can't get them all, but like I said, some guys are asking. Hey, I can say I got a bunch of guys in here, and I mean, I'm telling you. But this
Thank
is
you
from,
guys for watching, all of you.
yeah, and this is from also. This is for John Doe. Says thanks for coming in, show Tina. Wish you the best, and I am rooting for you. Thank you. And this is one thing I think
Thank
this is
you.
what you ladies deserve. You deserve people like say this. There's guys that say like, "Hey Tina, you're a Titan, right? Yeah." You can't pretty, okay. So if I do something for you, you do something for me. No. Stop that. This is what you do. Miss Wilson, we have a plan for you. We have a product we want you to represent. So if you're interested in working with us, we will like to have you as a representative. We will take care of your needs, stuff like that. If you do a show, we'll make sure you take care of your board. We also take care of your other necessities such as makeup, hair, and tanning. We make sure you're covered so it doesn't take too much on you. We want to see you grow as an athlete, and we want to see you be the best you can. This is a comment I think he says. He says, this is why Skippy says, Laura Coombs on Real People opened my eyes, and that's the one thing he scooped up some guy, and also Laura Coombs. Okay, that's what we're talking about. So thank you, because I think I missed that with so many questions. She was competing back in the day. So as we're gonna let you go, we're not gonna keep you too much longer. What would you like to see as a competitor in your overall shape in your bodybuilding career?
If I never get to the Olympia, I'm okay with that. Not that I'm digressing myself in any fashion, but I'm so happy with the result from last year at New York Pro and that feeling that I have and still being alive, that if I can place top 3 in any show, I'm ecstatic. Like, to me, that would be a dream come true. So I think I have the capabilities of getting to the Olympia stage and setting a really good example. But that's more for my physique. My end goal on my career for bodybuilding, I want people to know me as the person that motivates them, that keeps it real, that is a shining beacon of hope in this industry, that still approaches people like, I don't want people to be afraid of us or, come up to me and say hi. I think a lot of people, they get to a point in their career where they think they're better than other people because of what they've achieved, and that is not me by any means. I'm still a real person at the end of the day, and I want to show that example that the bodybuilding world itself is such a beautiful place and such a welcoming place to everyone, and no matter where you are at in your physique goals. So competing is beautiful, and I just want to open that realm to the inside outside world, and have the medical community see me as inspiring because of what I deal with from the medical side and how many adversities I have doing that. Like, I think that would be a cool segue into getting more people from the real world instituted into bodybuilding because of the relatability through medical adversities. So I have a few different goals when it comes to bodybuilding. But at the end of the day, I'm a regular person who is just extremely stubborn and knows what she wants out of life and loves bodybuilding and muscle. So I hope that, next year when I compete, it is fortuitous and the goals that I have set in place with my coaching staff come true, but it's going to depend on my work ethic. And I know that is very, very strong.
You know what? You deserve that. You deserve the opportunities. One thing I believe is most definitely is like, as athletes, you deserve more benefits. You play you pay $300 a year for a pro card. I think it should be like any job. This is, even though it's not like a real job, like any sport, there should be benefits. Like, okay, if something happens with your medical issues going around, okay, my insurance will cover me. If and
Yep.
God's willing, don't be the worst part. I have insurance that can bury me. I have this and that. I mean, or like in some cases, like even the amateur levels, if you win win your regional or even national show, hey, give me my entry money back. Hey, that's something I can put in my pocket that I can use towards the rest of the year. Little things
Absolutely.
like that, because like I said, you competitors are the product. We come to see you. We come to see you on. We come to see you at the show. We buy the tickets. We don't buy the tickets for the judges or the promoters or anyone else. We come to see y'all, and it's just you. It's just you deserve more opportunities. Like and like I said, it's just I don't know. Maybe just me being an outsider and stuff like here. And you know, I've been ladies I've become friendly with. Some ladies I've done interviews. We're still good friends. We talk every now and then. Some ladies have their phone numbers. Hey, they might call me up and ask me, hey, what's going on, George? You see, heard this, heard that, and it's just a lesson I learned from this in this sport. There's a lot of work to it. And I think it should be you should get more out of it than you put into it.
I hope that with Jake being where he is in the sport, that he keeps pushing for us, and starts making more rules toward there being more shows, more opportunities for us. Because if the opportunity isn't presented to us, how are we going to be able to flourish?
Mhm.
And they're not going to be able to see the magnanimous nature that is and can be women's bodybuilding if we don't have the opportunities that employ us to be able to do so.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
they're stifling us in some ways.
yeah, they're just really holding you back because you know what? This is the vision where if I know they're going to use the excuse because the women are getting bigger, they're getting yeah, but it's the evolution of the athlete. You don't say that. If you look back to the day how football started, the guys used to wear pigskins on their head. If you look at have that sport evolved. Look how basketball evolved. How all sports back in the day when you box, you used to box 100 rounds nonstop till one man dies. Used to be a title fight was like 15 rounds, it's down to 12. I do content on MMA, also mixed martial arts. That's a sport that's been around for a good while. They get it hard because you get hit with knees, elbows, everything else. It's the evolution of any sport, and you don't understand. I think one thing with women, they like to hold women down because they don't feel like I do most of my content on MMA. I do mostly about women because there's some comparisons and commonality between women bodybuilding and women in mixed martial arts because it's a tough sport. It's considered a very masculine, manly sport, and most everyday people wouldn't want to do it, but you have to have a passion for it, and you have a lot of work with it. And again, I think sponsorship can help. If we can get I know people like talk about how The Rock want to get involved. We get mainstream people like The Rock involved in the sport. I mean, some people may not like it, but the fact is he can bring attention to it. I know with the Olympia, Shaq was there. He was there because I saw a picture with Linda Murray and also he was backstage with some of the expediters. If you can bring in those people in, people like Arnold. What's for people like Arnold? Like more people think of bodybuilders, Arnold and Lou Ferrigno. Those are two people think about when you think of bodybuilding. But if you can treat it like any other sport, if you look back now, ESPN, they're showing poker and cornhole.
That's what I'm saying. If cornhole can be in the Olympics, why the hell can't? If you can play ping pong in the Olympics, why can't we put bodybuilding on ESPN?
Because it's a hobby sport. I think Joe Reeder a few years ago wanted to try to do that, but then it didn't happen. Because
I think people look at us and think one thing. That's why they won't put it on.
Yeah, I know, but the fact is, a basketball player just got busted for taking roids. He just got busted. It's in every sport. It's and bodybuilding.
And a lot of people go like this.
Yeah, remember they had that whole congressional hearing on baseball. Those are practically millionaires. If they want to shoot up and do whatever they want to do, that's on them. But you know what? Don't be pointing fingers at y'all sport. Say, yeah, you on this, you on that. Well, you can find it in almost every other sport, and also
every sport.
It's not just for building bodies. It's also if you be a cancer, if you have heart problems like that. But people take advantage of it. It's just easy to demonize one sport over the other. So, folks, this is a great discussion. This is a lovely lady. I wish her all the best for her.
Yeah, we were on here for almost 2 hours. This is fantastic.
I think it's almost the third longest interview I had. I mean, I have one lady we have about.
Oh, good. I'm honored to that.
Yeah, I think I had a lady we were almost 2 hours and a half. But what things I would like to see is more opportunities for all competitors. I will say again, Jake, hey, bring back the point system, bring back top 5 for women's bodybuilding, and also maybe physique, and also even fitness. They deserve that because those, I would say fitness, women's bodybuilding are the 2 oldest women's divisions in the sport. They need to be because there was in one point there was only those three divisions. So the others came because they wanted the division to work. Like wellness came along because for the girls who had those strong genetics, like bigger waists, bigger thighs, it works from them. and men's classic, or as I call it, men's figure, that's for throwback, and men's bikini for guys who don't have no legs, and that's why they do it. But if you, like I said again, if you're someone out there who has the means and the ways to really support women like this, like Tina and all these other ladies in sport and bodybuilding, reach out in genuine interest. I know you guys, when you see these ladies on stage, they rip, they're shredded, they're oiled up, you get that tickle or pickle, but realize these are people, And I remember, this is a true story. This is a true story. I remember this guy used to be on this chat room. He used to come in, he used to go to shows, and he tells a story how, true story, he went to a show. And he usually put it in his list when he goes traveling. He was sales, and he travels, and he goes to shows while he's traveling. He went to a show. While he was there, he's watching. It was like the finals of the women's bodybuilding division. He's sitting in the audience. He's sitting in the audience. In the back of the stadium, he hearing noise. He don't know what it is. It's a commotion. He turns around. It's security dragging this guy from the back, pants around his ankle. And he's sitting like 2 seats away from one of the trainers of the women, and said, like, "Oh my God, they're supposed to have barred ankle."
Oh Lord.
Those are the guys that really makes us schmoes look bad. I know you get started, go to your room, go to the bathroom, but stop doing that. But anyway, folks, we're gonna let her go. We appreciate the time she gave us. If you want to follow Tina, her social media stuff is in the description. If you want to support her, if you also somebody who want, maybe she can use extra sponsors. It doesn't hurt. A little extra sponsors.
Absolutely.
Doesn't hurt.
And I'll make you proud.
Yeah. And also, if you're someone who's in her area, you see Tina, like, okay, she's getting gas. Pay for her gas if you can. If she's shopping, hey, if you got the money, do it. If she's just getting coffee, hey, do that. Those little things help out in the long run. Because
and it makes us ladies feel special too.
Yeah, it's like, ma'am, it's my honor to help you, because I'm a Southern gentleman. It's my honor to help you as a gentleman, because you are
very nice, sir.
Yeah, all right. And thank you, ma'am. But folks, we'd like to thank Tina for coming through. We'd like to thank everybody who's here. Hey, I got a lot of guys. I mean, they were ready. I mean, when I posted that, if you say, George, you go interview Tina.
Well, thank you guys. I really appreciate your support, and thanks for being such a key factor in my competing career. So thank you very much.
Well, like I said, I want to thank my man KL, the Wanderer, my brother Exclusion 23, Chad, Michael Boyce, Warrior 2000. Everybody else who's been here. There's so many of you, I can't name you all. This is this is from my man Warrior 2000. Says Tina is her own superhero. Yeah.
Hopefully I'm yours too.
Yeah. So folks, if you're interested in following Tina, her social media stuff is in the description. Check her out. You know my rules. Also, before you leave, you have anybody you want to shout out to?
I would say Lola. My coach, Justin and Dom from Camp Jensen, have been so important to me. So thank you for putting up with me, and just being there more than just a coach, being there for me on an emotional support as we ride this health journey together. Those two are very impactful, and I do recommend their services. They are phenomenal. And one of my closest friends, Chris, he has come to me with to my shows, and he's my brother from another mother. I appreciate him greatly. One of the closest people to me. My clients, I want to give a shout out to, because they're a huge part. They all come to my shows, and they have seen me on my health journey as well, and they're always there for me. And I will say this, George, I am one extremely lucky person when it comes to support. I can't say that enough. Not everyone gets that in this industry, and I truly, truly have an amazing team behind me.
Well, you're not lucky, you're blessed. Luck, everybody can have luck, but we have
good. Yeah, thank you for that.
That truly is important. This is from Chad before we head out. He says, he said, "You're most welcome. I got the internet fixed by the way." So
that's good.
So anyway, folks, we'd like to thank you, the lovely.
And thank you, George, for having me on. I appreciate you greatly.
You know what? This is my favorite quote. It's from Batman Begins. When Jim Gordon says to Batman, says, "I forgot to thank you." And Batman turns around and says, "You never have to."
Oh.
That's a great,
That's a great quote.
I love the whole quiz. People hated that. I loved it every Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises. I don't do the Bane as much. Like Bane, so Mr. You think the dark is your ally. I live in the dark. I was born in it, but that's something I still work. I'm more the Joker. But folks, if you are in the area and you follow Tina, support her in her path, and we always wish her well wishes and safe health. Take your time. The sport's going to be here. Unless anything changes, sport's going to be here. And if you're someone who's genuinely interested in maybe being a sponsor, and you just want to see an athlete grow and develop, her social media stuff in the description. And I tell you again, guys, I'm going to tell you one time, and I know you saw the pictures. Just no deep pics.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Have respect for yourself. Come on, don't be that weird guy. Don't make us look bad. So anyway, I would like to thank everybody who came through. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your comments. I wish I could get you all of you, but hey, there's so much of you. I mean, like again, hey, when I get a new girl in here, you acting like you're Nikki Free, fries a motherfucker. But wish you best of luck, good luck recovery, and just take care of yourself. All right,
George, thank you so much. God bless everyone on this channel, and I appreciate you. Good night. Hold strong, guys.
All right. Anyway, folks, thank you for coming through, Tina. I appreciate it. Coming through. Share, comment, subscribe. This is MuscleTalk episode 172. Share this video, watch it, subscribe to me and Tina on our social media platforms. And this is your man, always your page, aka the Emperor of Human Body Talk. Subscribe. I'm out. Good evening and good night.